Hi there. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to ask you an important question. Are you wondering why your hard work isn't reflecting in your bank account? If so, I've got something that could change the game for you. With my Digital Product Accelerator one-on-one coaching program, I'm on a mission to help entrepreneurs like you bank consistent revenue without sacrificing your time or sanity. Imagine shifting from 90% client-facing work to enjoying consistent revenue from your digital products, all while reclaiming your time. You already know that you don't need another course, and a one-size-fits-all approach isn't going to cut it. What you need is a strategic, long-term plan tailored just for you. So if you're ready to build the profitable, freedom-giving business you've dreamed of, apply to work with me by going to destinycop.com/apply. I cannot wait to learn more about you and your business. Welcome to the Creators MBA podcast. Destiny here, and today's episode is something very special. It's a full replay of my recent workshop, Beyond Funnels, Build a Self-Sustaining Growth Flywheel. In this session, I break down exactly how I have built multiple successful brands by moving past traditional sales funnels to create a self-sustaining growth system. In this episode, you're going to discover why relying on funnels alone isn't enough anymore and how to build powerful growth flywheels that keep working even when you're not. Now, whether you are shooting for $1,000 a month or $40,000 a month, this workshop will show you how to create momentum in your business that builds on itself. In this episode, I share real-life examples from my own brands, including HobbyScool, the Newsletter Profit Club, and my personal brand, plus actionable strategies you can implement right away. Now, in addition to this, I have in the podcast show notes given you your own growth flywheel template that you can fill out as part of this workshop. So get ready to take notes. This is a value-packed session that you definitely don't want to miss. So again, first of all, I am super excited for you to join me in this workshop today. I have been working on this workshop for you guys for several weeks now. I basically got the idea because I had so many people asking me, how do you get so much done? And how do you get so many results in your business? And I started thinking about that. And I was like, well, what am I doing differently? I really came down to, and I've heard this terminology before. You guys have probably heard about it from other people too, but it really came down to in my different brands that I'm working on, and I'll go through all of them today with you. And I'm going to give you some very specific examples of things that I've been doing and things that I plan to do in 2025. So you'll get, insights into my brain and how it's working here today. But I really came down to, what am I doing differently? Well, I've been building these growth flywheels, and I'm going to walk you through why that is so different in growing these online digital product businesses or online businesses in general. So if you don't have digital products today, you're still going to get a ton of value from this. But for me, I did this for my digital product businesses. And really what it has helped me do is helped me free up my time that I've been able to build multiple brands and scale them at the same time. So that's what this workshop is about. And again, I'm super excited to walk you through it. Now, like I said, I am going to be monitoring both the Q&A and the webinar chat. So I have them both up on my screen. Anytime you have questions, so you don't forget, you can go ahead and put them in there. I will try to take some breaks throughout here to answer questions. If I happen to miss yours, it's not anything personal. It's just probably I just missed it because we might have a lot going through. We had about, close to 400 people registered. Obviously, not everybody can show up, but we're going to have a good amount of people coming in today.
So I'd love to know where you're located and what do you do and how do you help people. Giving me this information, especially about what you do and how you help people, that will help me tailor what I'm covering today, because I want to make this very specific for you guys, because you're showing up here live. I want this to be very specific for you and your business. So if you could just let us know in the chat, give us some more information. I'm going to be monitoring that and looking at that. We have a lot of people that are coming in from, quite frankly, all over the country, all over the world. So let us know in here where you're, coming in from and what do you do to help people. And I'm kind of going through and looking at all of this. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'll give you just a little second. I'll walk you through these business scenarios, because what we're going to be talking about today are the brands that I have built, some of the details behind those growth wheels, why they're working for me, and quite frankly, some of the things I've done that haven't been working, because I've certainly made a lot of mistakes over time. So I'm a college marketing professor turned online entrepreneur and a certified business growth coach. I actually still teach in an MBA program just because I love teaching and the courses that I'm teaching in that particular MBA programs. I'm the host of the Creators MBA podcast and the HobbyScool podcast. I have several different brands and businesses that I own. I have my personal brand, which is Destiny Cop, which is also part of my Creators MBA newsletter, my Creators MBA podcast. I have a Hello Content, which is a Shopify store full of digital products. I have HobbyScool, which we're going to be talking a lot about today. And I'm going to go into some detail about that particular brand and what I've done to grow it. And then I have the newsletter Profit Club, which is a collaboration app and a membership. But I'm also going to walk you through that particular brand and what I'm doing to grow that, because it's a very new venture that I have started actually just in the past less than 6 months. So I thought that would be a very good example for you guys to hear about, but also know this is something that I've just started. I started it from scratch, a domain name, as I always do, and how I've been kind of growing that over the past few months. Now, just a little bit about my journey. In 2018, that's when I started my online business. So I had wanted to start an online business for many years, but just never had the opportunity. So I was in corporate marketing, left corporate marketing, went to teach online. So I've been teaching online since 2005, way back in the dark ages when nobody knew that you could actually teach online. Now, come now, obviously it's very much mainstream, but back then it wasn't. 2019, that's when I kind of dipped my toes into being a Facebook ads consultant, also launched the Creators MBA podcast. So in those couple of years, I was just getting started and really, quite frankly, just learning about online business. So even though I had been marketing, my doctorate is in marketing, I worked in corporate marketing, I managed a close to $1 billion product portfolio for one of the big telecommunications company. But that was in marketing, like that's what I did. I was in their marketing department, but that was completely different from, these online businesses. So I was kind of learning a lot of that from ground zero, like, some of you probably are too. In 2020, some of you may have heard my story about the Facebook ads consulting, doing some services there. I realized that wasn't for me. That's when I went all in on digital products. So between like 2020, 2021, I was doing some of that, but I had some personal things in my life. And some of you know my story there. I had a son that was very much sick with cancer. He passed away. So in 2020 and 2021, I did not do a lot in my business. So if you are in a place in your business where you are having, personal problems, health problems, whatever, I've been there, but I just want you to know that you'll get out of it at some point. Like it's just now for me, I'm just now able to talk about it. I haven't even been, and we're almost in 2025 now. It took me years to actually kind of get through it and to be able to talk about it. In 2022, that's when I launched the HobbyScool brand, which is what we're going to be talking a lot about today. I launched it from a domain name purchase. So Just came across a domain name. I was like, you know what? I can do something with that. I can build something with that. And then in 2023, I just went all in with email list building, optimizing sales funnels, and also starting to build these growth flywheels that I'm going to talk with you about today. That's when we launched the 2 Shopify stores. And I would say in 2024 and beyond, and you're going to get some insights today in terms of what I have planned for 2025 and what I've been doing. So you're going to get really kind of behind the scenes, if you would. My goal for my personal brand is to be like the premier coaching place for digital product entrepreneurs. Also building out that newsletter Profit Club. My goal is to sell HobbyScool within 2 years. My goal is to sell it for over $1 million. So that's my goal. Not quite there yet. So I've given myself some time to build it up and get it to that point. I feel very confident that I'm going to do that. I might be a little bit overconfident here, but I feel like I've got all the basis and all the growth flywheels in place to get me to that point. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to just very briefly look through I love all the feedback that you're giving me, looking through all of the chat here. So here's what I want to know, because we're all here to help people. We want to help people, but we're all here to make money. I have 2 kids at home still. They're going to be going to college in just a few years. I need to make money. You need to make money. So let me know in the chat what your monthly revenue goal is in 2025. And think about, why do you want that? What will it give you in your life? For me, I need to pay my mortgage. I need to save for retirement. I need to feed my kids. I need to pay for their college. So there's a lot of things that you can think about and say, this is what it will give me. Maybe for some of you, it's paying off debt, or maybe you're just focused on saving for your requirement, or maybe it's a side hustle. So let's look at the chats. 30,000, love that. 40,000, 15, 2 to 3,000 per month. Somebody says, I want 10,000 months. I'm writing about my experience in a blog, also new. Somebody says 400 to 700 a year. So I love all of that. 1,000 a month so we can build our savings. I think all of these goals, I don't care if it's, 1,000 a month or you're trying to do 40,000 a month. I think all of these goals are perfect. They're right for you. I love what Jen said. There's a lot of comments coming in. 9,500 in the bank, but really as a travel bank. So she wants to travel. I'm assuming that's what she means there. It'll be a side business around $1,000. So all of these are really, really good. Somebody got kicked off the chat. I don't know why. Oh, is it only so some of the comments are only going into hosts and panelists. If you want your comments to go to everybody, you got to put in there that you want them to go to everybody. I think it's safe to say that we have a lot of different goals. We have a lot of different things that we are shooting for. I think all of those are attainable. Let's talk about what you're going to leave here today. My main goal is that you leave here today with your custom growth flywheel blueprint. Later on, when we get to that point, I'm going to give you a link and we're going to go to Canva. There's a Canva whiteboard template that I have put together for you. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to have some very actionable next steps for implementation. And like I said, I'm going to give you some proven strategies from real world businesses. So I'm going to give you some very specific models that you can look at so you know exactly what's working. But also, I want you to walk away with a different perspective on what it means to have sustainable business growth. Okay, so we'll talk about that, and I'm going to walk you through exactly what that means. You're also going to have clarity on your growth priorities, but you're also going to have that visual roadmap that we talked about. So this is the link. You don't have to open it up right now. When we get to that point, I'll put the link in the chat just so everybody has it. But this is what you're going to go. You're going to make a copy of that. And that's what we're going to work from in our workshop today. Now, I want to take a second and talk about the limitations of traditional sales funnels. So I'm sure all of you have seen this picture that I have here on this slide. So a sales funnel coming in, you kind of have people coming in, and then they get to know you, they'll consider your offer, some of them will buy, and then they'll kind of just fall out. So it's more of what I would consider or describe as a one and done approach. So in this model, you're constantly chasing that next customer. And there's really this lack of long-term engagement. So when people are just coming through your funnel, maybe they're buying, maybe they're not, and then going away, it is really very difficult to scale a business like this because you feel like you're starting from scratch every single time somebody new comes into your funnel. And also, and I will definitely demonstrate this in some of the next few slides, so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. There's missed opportunities for organic growth here, just organic growth that's going to naturally happen in your business. The other thing I would say, this is something that I have learned fairly recently in the past few years, and I'm a huge fan of funnels. I just want everybody to know that. I have 2 funnel courses. I have my Funnel Cure course, which is a tripwire course that walks people through how to set up a tripwire. I have my Evergreen Funnel course, which walks people through how to set up like an evergreen funnel for a higher priced offer. Let's say you have like $1,000 course or, an offer like that. So I'm still a huge fan of funnels, but funnels alone, and I've learned this in the past few years, funnels alone are not enough. I'm not saying you shouldn't have them in your business because you should, but they're just not enough because customers want to feel valued and connected to your brand. And I'm going to walk you through an example in HobbyScool about how that's working for us. And they're really looking for more than just a one-time purchase. So they want to interact with your brand multiple times. So you want to build something that can grow with your brand and that can adapt over time. And if any of you have ever heard that one funnel away that was touted for many, many years in the online industry, I would say that funnel, that particular strategy does not work anymore. And Russell Brunson is the person who used to talk about that. And I've been paying attention to him a little bit more lately because I really wanted to see what he was saying, if he was still kind of touting this. And he's not even talking about this anymore. So I would say it's probably not working for him either or his people, because he's moved away from that. So I've learned that it wasn't working. And that's when I moved to this more of this growth flywheel type model. And some of you have probably heard about that one funnel away type message that was going around for so many years. So what we need a more holistic approach in our business. So I want you to think of your business as a web of connections. So there's going to be multiple touch points for people to come into your business. There's going to be multiple growth loops in your business. You're going to be building more of a community around your brand, but also you're going to be leveraging existing customers and also other advocates for growth. So it's not going to be you chasing that next customer that's going to come through the funnel and maybe they're going to purchase and maybe they're not going to purchase. So that's not the model that you want. You want more of this holistic approach. So let me walk you through what this means here. So when you look at the growth flywheel, as opposed to that funnel that we were talking about earlier, you're going to have an attract. So that's when people get to know, they know who you are, they know you exist, and then they might start engaging with you. And there's different ways that they can engage with you. Maybe it's they sign up for your lead magnet and then go into your tripwire funnel. And then you're going to move into the stage where you are delivering value. You may skip this phase on a regular basis. And that is something you have to do on a regular basis to stay on top of their mind, to keep them familiar with your brand, connected to your community. And then you move into this retain kind of phase of the growth flywheel. And that phase, maybe they're purchasing other products from you and just becoming more integrated into your brand. And then the last phase is the advocacy phase where they are, they love your brand and they want to tell other people about it. And that's the phase that you really want to get everybody to. in this growth flywheel. And I think the best way to describe this growth flywheel, and I put it down on the bottom of the slide because I was like, you know what, that's a really good way to describe this. It's almost as if it's a merry-go-round for your business. And the more you kind of build these growth flywheels, and there's growth flywheels in all of these different stages. So the more you start kind of building this momentum in your business, it's like this merry-go-round that keeps your business kind of spinning faster and faster. And people can come in on this growth flywheel really kind of at different stages. And there's different ways they can do that. The workshop itself is, well, it kind of depends on how many questions you guys have, but I have blocked out until 2:30 on my calendar. And, may go that long and may not. It kind of depends on how many questions that you guys have. Okay, so let's kind of compare, and we've been talking about this. Let's compare the growth flywheel to the funnel. So like I said, the funnel is more, they come in, it's kind of thank you, do you want my offer? Do you not want my offer? If you don't want my offer, then goodbye. With the growth flywheel, the journey doesn't end at the initial sale. They stay with your brand. They might purchase other things. They become an advocate for you and refer other people to you. That's what you want in your online business. You want this merry-go-round that keeps going faster and faster. And that's when you get that growth without you having to constantly do things all the time in your business. So like I said, I'm a huge fan of funnels, and I do know that funnels feed into these flywheels, and you can have multiple points where people can go on to your flywheel. So there's different ways that they can be invited to join your business. Flywheels amplify funnel results. We still need the funnels in our business because that's the way to get people into our world, especially with a tripwire funnel. They can become an instant customer. That's a great way for them to know more about you and your brand, but you don't want that sale to end. People can join your flywheel through word of mouth, social media. They can sign up for your newsletter even after making a purchase. So maybe they just make a purchase in your Shopify store and they come into your world, come into your flywheel funnel. So that's another way that they can. So let me walk you through some case studies. And I am looking at the questions. I don't think I've missed any questions, but if I have, let me know. So Kathy says I have mostly physical products, but we'll be starting digital too. I have a website and an Etsy store. I'm an artist and designer of home goods, clothing, and art. So Kathy, let me know as we kind of go through all of this, what specific questions you have. I can help you and kind of walk you through some of the initial steps to make that transition and start building up those digital products there. So let me walk you through some very specific examples here. And here's the growth flywheel that we have set up for HobbyScool. And this particular flywheel has been working beautifully. There's some things that I'm going to kind of go in and amplify in 2025, and I'll walk you through some of our plans there. So in the attract stage for this particular brand, people find out about us by summits, mostly because we run online learning virtual summits throughout the year. We have over time kind of narrowed down kind of our niche there and the ones that have worked the best for us. And for HobbyScool, it has primarily been the ones that are in kind of that crafting niche. I have done some collabs, not a lot. 2025, I'm definitely going to add paid ads in there because we have funnels and everything that are working. They're working very well. So why not amplify those results? Podcast. So I do have my podcast there. And also a little bit of social media. We haven't done a ton with social media with this brand. but we are going to do a little bit more in 2025 for it. We do have a blog, and I do have a Pinterest account set up for HobbyScool, and we have our Shopify store attached to that Pinterest account. We are a verified merchant there. But I would say when you're looking at the attract stage here, the virtual summits have definitely been the biggest kind of way that people have gotten to know us through that particular brand. So in the engage stage here, we have the VIP pass with the tripwire funnel set up. Some people are just signing up for a newsletter. So they're finding out about us from wherever and signing up for the newsletter. And I should also say in the attract stage, and I should have put this down, another way that people are finding out about us is through the creator network on Kit. So we're part of that creator network. So it's all been organically through the creator network. So we're seeing a lot more of those come through every single week. And that's just been probably in the past 2 to 3 months that has really been building up. But, like I said, we just have people coming in that are finding out about us. Maybe it's through the blog, maybe it's through Pinterest. They're seeing it. They're signing up for the newsletter. We don't even have a lead magnet there. So they're literally just signing up to be on our newsletter, to be notified when our next event is. So that's really the engage stage. In the deliver value stage, one of the things that I have done this year is really double down on the email marketing here. So the weekly newsletter is a very, very important part of this growth flywheel. We also have a pretty engaged and large Facebook group for HobbyScool. So we do a lot of value added posts there. I did mention earlier that in each of these areas, there are, additional kind of mini flywheels, if you would, and I'll walk you through in just a second what a newsletter flywheel looks like and walk you through some of the things that we have done there. In terms of the retain, I should have put here too, one of the ways that we're retaining people is they're attending our events on a regular basis. So they love the event, they had a great time in the event, and they want to come back and do the next one. So we're retaining people that way. Also, in our memberships, that is something that we are launching, hasn't launched yet, but that's going to be a major part of this growth strategy. And to get HobbyScool to a point where I can sell it in 2 years. And of course, we have our Shopify store there. But really what I think has made this growth flywheel so very powerful for HobbyScool, and where we're seeing a lot of kind of organic growth that we're not having to push ourselves, is in the advocacy stage. And this is something that's probably just happened definitely this year, but I would say I'm really seeing the benefit and the value from it in the past 6 months. Has been very powerful. So the affiliate program, we, over the time and working with all of these speakers and just affiliates, people who have come to us and say, I want to promote your event. So they promoted the event. They made a good amount of money for the event. We've had some affiliates make, $2,000 for just sending out a couple of emails. Referrals from just people that have been in the event. They're inviting their neighbor, they're inviting their mother or their sister or whatever. So we're getting a ton of kind of word of mouth advocacy there. And then social proofs and testimonials. So after every event.
Hey there, Destiny here, and I'm the host of the Creators MBA podcast. And this episode is brought to you by HelloContent.shop, your go-to destination for content creation in your online digital product business. I understand how busy you are as an online business owner. I am right there with you. And that is why I have filled our Hello Content Shopify store with low-cost digital products that you can use as a lead magnet or part of your paid programs like your online courses or memberships. We also have marketing templates like email swipe files and social media templates designed to save you time and money. So whether you're looking to streamline your content strategy, enhance your digital products, or just save some precious time, I've got you covered, my friend. Now visit the HelloContent.shop today and take the first step towards
effortless content creation. We gather all of that, both from the speakers, any affiliates, and people who attended the event. So we will take that social proof, we'll add it to the sales pages, we'll put it on our affiliate page, and that is where I think we've seen a lot of growth this year, which didn't involve us doing a lot. Yes, we had to make sure that we had everything for our affiliates set up. Yes, we had to make, some type of mechanism and a process for gathering those social proof and those testimonials, but that has made a huge difference with us. Now I want to walk you through our growth flywheel for the newsletter Profit Club. Okay, so like I said, this is a new brand and offer that we launched this year. I started it in July based on all the questions that I was getting from people about what we had done with our newsletters, how we were monetizing them, how we were growing them. And then a few months later, I launched the newsletter Profit Club collaboration app, which is an app where people could do newsletter swaps. So what I have been doing to grow this particular brand is mostly right now would be collabs, some speaking opportunities. So I have spoken at some summits and then had my lead magnet there along with my tripwire, which leads into my membership. As an example, with a collab that I am doing actually this month, it should be going out in the next week or so. I have partnered up and did a collaboration with somebody who has 100,000 people on their email list. They're going to be offering the newsletter Profit Club collaboration app to their audience. So I'm offering them lifetime access to that for free. I'm thinking that their audience is going to be super interested in this just because of what they do, what they teach. So we'll see what happens. So in terms of engaging people, obviously the collaboration app is one of the ways that we engage people. And then I also have a newsletter profit calculator. So that's my lead magnet there, which leads into the tripwire, which is the membership. Now, for delivering value, I have the weekly newsletter that I send out every single week. I send that out on Fridays, and then I do my newsletter for my paid members. So with the membership, we have monthly events that we do, send out weekly content. And the other thing that's been interesting with this that I just started doing that's been working very well, a lot of times what I'll do is in my Creators MBA newsletter, if I have a workshop coming up for the newsletter Profit Club, I'll let people know this workshop's coming up. This is what we're covering. Here's what you get. But it's only for paid members. So if you want to join, now's a great time to join so you can take advantage of this membership. The other thing that I've been doing in this membership, and I think this is important because I think people want, number one, they want accountability, but they also want personalized feedback. So if they go to the workshop, they implement what we talked about in the workshop, they send it to me for review. I'll review it and send them back a Loom video and just going through and giving them feedback. So that's another way that you're retaining your current customers. They love that personalized feedback, and that's been working. And then going into the advocacy. So I've opened up that membership for an affiliate program. So just launched that in the past couple of weeks. We're definitely getting referrals. We have the social proof and the testimonials. So I'm in the very initial stages, I would say, of the advocacy part of this growth flywheel for this particular brand. But I know how important that is. And I would say that, once I can get that up and running, that's definitely going to help with this particular flywheel. Okay. Now, let me just talk a little bit about my personal brand. This is something obviously I've been working on for many, many years. I do a lot of summits. I've done a lot of collabs in the past. Haven't done paid ads, but I'm definitely going to be doing that in 2025. I have my Creators MBA podcast. I mostly use my Creators MBA podcast for my audience to deliver value to them, not necessarily for discovery platform. My social media platform for this particular brand is LinkedIn, but I haven't done a lot with LinkedIn. That's going to change. I think in 2025, that's on my list of things to do. I have several different lead magnets for this particular brand. They all lead into tripwires, but One of the things that I have started doing differently with this particular brand, and I'm going to lean into this a little bit more in 2025, is just getting people who are interested in signing up for my newsletter. And I'm a little bit torn on this, quite frankly. My lead magnets convert like crazy. Like, I was looking at some of the landing pages in lead pages for these lead magnets, and they're converting, 85%, 90%. One was even close to 100. I'm like, okay, the lead magnets are definitely converting. But are these people who want to hang, do they want to be on my email list? Are they truly interested in hearing from me? So I did a little test, and I did a landing page that was strictly for my newsletter. If you want to get on my email list, sign up here. Here's what I deliver. Here's what you can expect. I'm anxious to see how that works, but I really want people on my email list who are interested in my content and want to get it on a regular basis, because that's where I deliver the value, is my Creators MBA newsletter and my Creators MBA podcast. So, and then with the retain, obviously with the membership that we have with the Digital Product Growth Lab, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, we have the membership there with the monthly events, the weekly content, and the one-on-one coaching there. Now, for the advocacy part here, this is something I'm going to be building out in 2025. So when we look at my growth flywheel, this is going to be on it for this particular brand. And that's building out the affiliate program. I've done a really, really bad job with that in the past. And I was looking at my Thrive card. I had a few hundred affiliates in there. I'm like, why am I not doing anything with that? So that's going to be on my 2025 plan, and really building up the referrals and the social proof and testimonials. So that's going to be one of the growth flywheels that I'm working on. So TK asked, how many team members do you have, if you don't mind sharing? So I have one virtual assistant that's been with me for a few years now. So Dr. Martin asked me, where and how are you sharing content? Really just through my newsletters. So in my podcast. So I'm not doing a lot on social media, if any, quite frankly. So if you looked at my social media on Instagram, I have a 9-grid set up on Instagram. I don't do any social media right now for the newsletter Profit Club. Now for HobbyScool, because my goal, right, is to sell that in 2 years, and a buyer is going to want to see active social media accounts. We have our Facebook group there. We have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram account for HobbyScool, and we do post there, and we share things from our speakers and from our audience. I feel like we are getting a better ROI in other places, so I haven't put a lot of focus there. All right, so now I want to go through, and I'm just going to look at the time, make sure we're okay here. So now I want to go through and give you some examples here. So these are, I would call these mini flywheels that would fit into your bigger flywheel. And I put the newsletter one here because I think it's one of the most important ones that you should have in your business. So this is what I have done with my newsletter. So you can post, get people from social media. If you do social media, I don't, but a lot of people do. And it does work for a lot of people. So I wanted to mention it there. So a track stage, social media, you can do ads, right? So, and I'm not talking necessarily about Facebook or Instagram ads. Let's say that you wanted to go out and sponsor somebody else's newsletter, like say that they have your ideal customer, their readers are your ideal customer. You can do a paid ad or pay them to put in their newsletter, say, a free gift that you have, or sign up for this newsletter. So there's a lot of ways that you can get people to sign up for your newsletter, other than, like a lead magnet type thing on Facebook or Instagram. And also collabs, right? You can do collabs with other people and just get them to promote your particular newsletter. I mentioned the Creator Network with ConvertKit or Kit. Newsletter swaps and collabs, all of those have definitely worked for me to get people onto my email list. They can sign up directly there on their Engage, or they can sign up for a lead magnet that we have and get on our email list. And, hopefully they stay around. Delivering value, sending out that weekly newsletter, I think is so, so very important. And then obviously you want to retain them. So you're giving them a lot of great feedback in that weekly newsletter. And then in advocacy, this is something that I've been testing out. I'm going to do a little bit more testing with that going forward. But like in SparkLuke, SparkLuke is kind of, I think they're owned, quite frankly, by ConvertKit, but it's a separate service. With SparkLuke, you can, have it set up so if people refer other people to your newsletter, you can give them like a little prize or bonus. You refer 3 people and get this. And I'm sure you've seen that in other people's newsletters. Other thing that you can do here, and I've done this for my newsletter sign-up page, is just gather testimonials. So in your email that you send out on a weekly basis, ask for testimonials, give them a link where they can go in and input their testimonials. I use Social Juice for that. There's a lot of other platforms that you can use to gather testimonials the right way and get their consent, because you want to make sure you're getting people's consent there. But, getting those testimonials there is so important. What kind of content do you put in your weekly newsletter for HobbyScool? What are you selling to them? So we are selling products, Alicia, that are on our Shopify store. But there's a lot of stuff that you could sell in your weekly newsletter. There's affiliate type things that you could do. Sometimes we're an affiliate for like another event because we know that particular audience, they love attending events. So if there's another like crafting event going on, we will, we can jump in to be an affiliate for that, and we can put that in our newsletter. What are you selling to them? Is it all crafting focused? It's not all crafting focused. I mean, we have like journals and planners. It's more life type stuff that we can sell. We sold a Halloween planner in one of our weekly newsletters that did very well in HobbyScool. And make sure I'm not missing. I think I've answered most of the questions here. Martin says, how do you feel about Beehive versus ConvertKit? I don't know anything about Beehive. I apologize. So I really can't answer that. I've just been using ConvertKit for many years. I have 3 different ConvertKit email accounts for these 3 different brands, and I didn't want to learn anything new. So I was, so I just stuck with it. Let me just say that. Sarah says, which tool or program regarding the testimonials? But there's tons of them out there. I think Sinja, I might be pronouncing it wrong. I think that's another one. There's other ones out there, but what I love about them is they make it super easy to gather the testimonials. So what we do is we'll take the testimonials there and we will embed it into a website. And if you go to, and I can show you some examples. If you email me, I'll send you some examples of what it looks like if you want to test it out. Cree says, I put this question in the Q&A, but I'll put it here. How are lead magnets and lead pages different from lead magnets in ConvertKit? Maybe I'm missing something. Okay, so I can definitely answer this question. So I use lead pages for my landing pages for my free gifts. And I use lead pages because I have found that the templates that they have there convert very well. I felt like they were converting better than the landing page templates in ConvertKit. So basically, it's just a different place where people can go to see your lead magnets, your offer, if you would. So story prompt is one I use. Yeah, there's tons of different places out there for you to gather testimonials. They are an app with a cost. There is a cost for Social Juice and some of the others. I don't know off the top of my head what the cost is. could you please share your Shopify store for HobbySchool? I'm curious to see it. So if you go to hobbyschool.com, Alicia, there's going to be at the top navigational bar, you'll see shop there, and you can go look at it. I'm going to keep going here because I have a few other examples to show you, and I want us to get started on our workshop. Okay. If anybody needs to see these examples, let me know, and I can move back to some of these slides. Now, I put this in here because I know a lot of you are interested in getting visibility from podcasts. So here's an example of what this flywheel looks like. So you have your podcast interview, you give that audience a free gift, you deliver value, from that. You can take that transcript from there. You can basically tell your particular audience about it. You can put it on your website. You can promote it on social media. I feel like a lot of people, and I've done this myself, so no shade in doing this, but I feel like a lot of people, when they're a guest on somebody else's podcast, they just do the interview and they wipe their hands and kind of move on. And I feel like that's very much of a lost opportunity. So what I have started doing when I'm a guest on somebody else's podcast, I've been sharing that in my newsletter and letting people know I was on this podcast, sharing it elsewhere. And when you share it, it leads to more interview requests because those people see you, they see that you're sharing other people when you were a guest on somebody else's podcast. So I think that is very much a lost opportunity when we just do the podcast interview and kind of wipe our hands and walk away. So I like to see more of a podcast guest flywheel that looks like this. And here's one for an e-commerce digital shop flywheel. So I know some of you who are watching, or maybe you're even here today, you might have an e-commerce shop. This is something that I have on my plan for 2025 to really build out our digital shops more so than what we've done. So ways that you can attract, you can do collabs, you can do content marketing, you can even do ads to introduce your brand. That's on my list. You can engage people by offering a discount or special incentive for the first-time visitors to subscribe to your email list. So when they go to your shop, make sure you have all of that set up like a flywheel. They spin the wheel and get their special discount to get on there. The one area that I think a lot of digital shop owners miss is they treat it more like an e-commerce business, and they're not doing that weekly providing value. I feel like even though that this is a digital product shop, we are digital product entrepreneurs. People, for them to stay on our email list and for them to keep coming back to purchase from us again, we need to be doing that regular kind of delivering value, useful value on a regular basis. Otherwise, why would they stay on your email list? That doesn't make any sense to me. They're not there just to always buy from you every single week or every single flash sale that you email them about. They want to learn from you. They want to get that valuable content from you. And when they're learning from you and you're providing value, they're going to be more likely to move into that retain stage and stick with you. And that's when you can do the loyalty programs or product recommendations for repeat customers. And then moving into that advocacy stage. So empowering those satisfied customers to leave reviews, refer their friends. So there's definitely things that you can set up in your shop where they can refer their friends or be an affiliate for you. So I know that I have some work to do for my digital shops, and this is one of the areas that I'm going to be focusing on in 2025. All right, so an affiliate is another one. Again, this is an area that I'm going to be focusing on, partnering with affiliates that align with your brand, engaging with them. You can offer them an exclusive incentive or promo for their customers, delivering value, making sure that they have the information that they need to be successful. There's a lot of people that I would promote. There was actually one that came up in my inbox this past week. I'm like, I would really like to promote that offer, but they didn't have swipe files for me. And I'm like, I don't have time to write that and figure that out because I just don't know enough about their offer. I needed the swipe files there. And then you can reward top performing affiliates by offering bonuses and then obviously advocacy. So sharing their experience there. All right. So now I want to move into, we're going to build your own custom growth flywheel. So I'm going to put that link in here, the chat, so you guys can grab it. This is the Canva whiteboard. So you're going to grab that. What I want you to think about here, I want you to identify your key business objective. So what is the main goal that you want to achieve in the next 3 months? And I'm going to give you some examples here, and I'm going to give you a case study in just a second. So maybe your goal is increasing your newsletter subscribers. Maybe it's achieving 5,000 per month in recurring digital product revenue. A lot of you talked about your goals earlier, so you already have what you want in your mind. Maybe it's gaining, 100 new customers for a flagship digital product in the next quarter. Maybe you have like a $5,000 program that you're trying to launch. And maybe it's 100 sales per month of your digital product shop. So there's a lot of things that you can think about and do there. So I want to answer this question from Alicia. She has it in the Q&A. She says, how do I do this with a business that's a side gig and not a full-time gig? Well, the good news is this is all based on your goals. So it'll be what my recommendation is to hone in on what your specific goal is. And whatever that specific goal is, focus on getting, working on that, and then moving. Once you get that growth flywheel working, then you can move on to the next one. And all of these build upon each other. So when you looked at that flywheel for HobbyScool, that didn't happen overnight, right? I built those flywheels one by one, and those processes one by one. So you just got to start building upon it. Regarding the flywheel on Canva, is it one page? Yes, they're only one page. And Jen, you had to refresh the link a couple of times. There might be a lot of people going to that link right now. We had a lot of people signed up. So hopefully everybody was able to get the template. So we've talked about your goal. So we've talked about what achieving that goal would allow you to do in your business. You will have to it is a Canva whiteboard, so you will have to log into Canva to do it. So what I want you to do now is connect the dots to create your growth machine, your growth flywheel. So I want you to think about what your goal was. And a lot of it was revenue. A lot of your goals are going to be revenue, and that's fine. So let's connect the dots. We're going to start with attract, engage, deliver value, retain, and advocate. All of those steps that we've been talking about today. And if you're really struggling, or if you're new to this, or you don't know where to start, I want to talk about Karen here. So Karen's a garden coach. I generally recommend that if you don't have this set up today, this is where you start for most of you. Now, I know everybody's business is different, and I'm happy to talk with you about your specific business growth flywheel. But if you don't have this set up today, this is where I would suggest you start. And that is making sure you have a very, very valuable lead magnet that's converting well. So, looking at your stats on your landing page, like I said, I can go to lead pages and see mine. I would love to see your lead magnet converting at 40% or higher. So if you don't have that today, that's where you start. And then having an offer that leads into that tripwire offer. So that's where Karen started. She revised and created her No Fuss garden course. So that was her tripwire offer. She created her tripwire sales page. She created her order bump and basically set up that whole tripwire funnel. that led into other things that she was selling. So if you don't have this set up today, this is generally where I recommend that people start. So think about your goal and think about how are you going to attract people who are likely to help you to reach this goal. So this might be collaborations that you're doing. It might be some summit that you're speaking at. It might be a podcast that you can be a guest on. So this is like getting people to know about you. In HobbySchool, we're doing the virtual summits. We're hosting them. In the Newsletter Profit Club, I'm doing that collaboration that's happening this month with somebody who has 100,000 people on their email list. That's a huge collaboration, a huge visibility opportunity. So think about that. And then you're going to move into that engage stage, which is how are you going to get those people into your world and onto your email list? Generally, that's where you're going to start, because you want them onto your email list and you want to start providing value every single week through the email or podcast, like I do. Different ways you can do that. Is that happening to anybody else, or any tips for her? So it's happening to Dr. Martin too. Well, why don't you guys do this? Instead of doing the whiteboard, you can get a piece of paper and just draw this and start writing this down. Get a piece of paper. I'm going to keep this up here. And we're going to talk through this. So you can always go back to that whiteboard after this and input your information. Oh, Dr. Martin said, I moved from iPad to desktop, so it's fine on the desktop. Okay, so it's working on the desktop. And Mara says she's watching on her phone. I'm going to post the link for you. It's just my website name, / and then whiteboard. Yeah, we're pivoting for success. Well, now I know. I didn't realize that was going to be an issue. Somebody mentioned it wouldn't be authentic if there were no tech issues. Well, there you go. There's tech issues here. Yes, so the whiteboard template is yours. So you just save that to your own Canva account. It's yours to keep, and you can use it over and over again. Chris says, authentic and live. Absolutely. So I want to know what questions you guys have. So think about your goal, and then think about the growth flywheel. I'm keeping this up on the screen here. That everybody gets their growth flywheel. Send me an email with your Canva link or a picture of what you've put together. If you just want to, take a picture and send it, I'll look at it and give you some feedback. So I'll do that for everybody who is here live today. And I'm going to check over here and see what questions people have. Kathy has a question. How is a membership different from a Facebook group? So in my examples that I gave you, like for a HobbyScool, we have a free Facebook group there. It's basically, we just keep it open. Whenever we have an event, we post the bingo cards there and just basically we just leave it open if people want to interact with other crafters in their niche, if you would. It's just a free Facebook group. But the membership is different. The membership is where they are paying. It's a paid membership, and they're doing the monthly crafting challenges that we have. Every single month, we have a crafting challenge that they can participate in. It's just different types of things that they can make. One might be a knitting thing. The next month might be how to make cold soap or whatever. You get the drift. So it's just different kind of challenges that they do. And it's just a workshop that we have every single month. and they pay to be in that membership. So that's the difference there. The Facebook group is just a free group where we run the free events in there, but the membership is a paid group. Alicia says, I don't know if this question fits for today, but I would love to make $2,000 in affiliate income from promoting one of your events. Could you please say more about how someone does that? I send out the emails. Maybe my audience isn't a good fit. So I would say the affiliates who, we have several that make a good amount of money for promoting events. They have big, huge email list, and they're in that kind of crafting type niche. So their audience is very, very primed for something like that. But they're sending out, multiple, probably 3 to 4 emails promoting it. Julie says, I'm having trouble differentiating between deliver value and retain. Can you explain a little bit about the difference between them? Absolutely. So delivering value will be, how do you provide continuous value to keep new subscribers or customers engaged? So, and I'll give you some very, very specific examples here. In HobbyScool, a couple of ways that we do that is through our weekly newsletter, also with the Facebook group. So those are 2 ways that we can keep them engaged and keep them, deliver value to them. So they can attend, we're doing one next week. It's called the Elves Workshop Summit. So we are doing another event. Even if they've attended one of our previous events, they can attend this one. They may or they may not purchase the VIP pass and some of the other products with it. People who've attended our events before, they're definitely more likely to purchase that. Also, I would put any sales that we make with our email list customers, like in our Shopify store. So let's say that we deliver value, we send out an email, it points them to the Shopify store, they purchase, so we retain them as a customer, so they're buying with us again. Also the membership, so when they purchase the membership but they stay in the membership, we've retained them, we're getting additional revenue from them, we're increasing their lifetime value as a customer. So hopefully, Julie, that answers your question there. Alicia says, I'm not sure if this fits for today's topic, but here it is. I heard you mention a few times that you have high converting funnels, tripwires, and lead magnets. I have pretty good converting lead magnets, which is the free stuff, but I can't seem to crack the code for having high converting tripwires and funnels. Any advice? What I would do would be to try to troubleshoot that, would start to look at your data and comparing it to industry average to see where there might be holes. And if we identified holes, kind of looking at the content. Is it the offer? Is it the pricing? Is it the image? Is it the messaging? So kind of digging into all of that and figuring out what's going on there. Amanda says, what's an order bump? So an order bump, let's say you have a lead magnet, and on the next page, you have this tripwire offer where it says, wait before you go. I have this normally kind of a low price digital product, if you would. And then when they go to check out on the checkout page, they can click a little button to add an order bump. So it might be like a $7 or $9 type offer there. So that would be an order bump. And in a funnel like that, you can have additional like upsells or downsells or cross sells in there. Kathy says, lead wire being a freebie. A lead magnet, yes, is a free gift. So you're right, people use different terminology. So you might hear freebie, lead magnet, free offer, but basically it's all the same thing. Opt-in, some people call it an opt-in. So think about that. Question then, where do you host your membership? So in the B2C, we're using Thrivecart, and the B2C, we're moving to School for that. I'm just looking through, making sure I am answering. So Crystal says, I am curious about your HobbyScool membership. Do you have different experts come in each month to do different workshops? Yes. So basically we pay experts, because I am certainly not an expert in all those areas. So we pay experts to come in and do like a recorded workshop that we offer to the members. Do I use ThriveCart as my payment gateway? Yes, except for the Shopify stores. So Sarah says, is the flywheel more of a strategy, or is there a flywheel you can use instead of funnels, or what's the difference technically? So flywheels feed into funnels, or funnels feed, I got that backwards. Funnels feed into flywheels, but a flywheel is more comprehensive. Like, for instance, in the picture that we have up here right now, what lead magnet or offer will turn attention into active engagement? So generally in this engage stage, you're going to have some type of funnel there. I like to have those tripwire funnels in that engage stage. You have the lead magnet. On the next page, you have a tripwire, which may lead into an order bump and some upsells too. This growth flywheel is more of a comprehensive strategies where you are taking somebody who just got to know you, maybe just got into your email list, maybe just signed up for your lead magnet. You've offered, you've made an offer to them. Maybe they purchased, maybe they didn't. No matter what, they're still on your email list. You have an opportunity to sell to them in the future. So you're delivering constant value. You may have some other offers that you can point them into, like in the retain stage. But ultimately, your goal is to get them to be an advocate for you, where they're recommending other people, where they may be even referring other, getting a referral fee or turning into an affiliate. You want to build up to that advocacy stage. And I would say it does take some time to get there. We are there in the HobbyScool brand. Like, we have, pretty much, I would say, mastered that advocacy stage. We need to do a little bit more work there in 2025, but we're, those customers are becoming advocates. Those affiliates are becoming advocates, and they're doing a lot of work for us to drive that organic growth. And it's just, it just gets that flywheel going. Okay, so let me answer Alicia's question. I think I'm stuck, but not sure if you're able to help me on this on the call. My business goal is generate $2,000 per month in recurring revenue, but I'm not actually sure how I can make this happen. Okay, so Alicia, if you have, you probably, I don't know if you can send in, let me look. I don't think you can send me a picture. Tell me a little bit about your business model and what you are doing today. And I'll see if I can help you. But Alicia, I might just have you send me an email. I'd like to look at your link for your Canva whiteboard with your growth flywheel. And I want to see how everything that you have laid out. So at this point, I want to challenge all of you. And like I said, everybody who is here live, if you want to send me an email with a link to your Canva whiteboard, I will give you feedback. I'll do a little video and give you feedback on your growth flywheel, because my goal is that you walk away from this workshop today with your completed growth flywheel set up. So definitely do that. And for the next 30 days, I want to challenge you to focus on improving your weakest flywheel component. Once you get one growth flywheel working, you can start working on the next. This is a huge momentum shift in your business. All of these growth flywheels will work together. We looked at the newsletter growth flywheel. We looked at a podcast guest growth flywheel. We looked at an affiliate program growth flywheel. So there's a lot of different ones that you can set up in your business. And it really just depends upon your business goals, what you've done so far in your business. And I get questions, everybody asks me all the time, how do you get so much done in your business? It's because I work on these growth flywheels. I'll select one, I'll focus on it and I'll keep moving on. Once I've kind of mastered that one, and I'll move on to the next one. And they do build upon each other. While this 30-day flywheel challenge is important, I want you to kind of think about how much more you could accomplish if you had support behind you. And I want to invite you into my digital product growth lab. And this is not a course, it's a program, it's a guided coaching experience where I get hands-on in your business, putting together a very specific plan that is for you and for you alone. So no matter what your goals are, if you're trying to get to the $2,000 a month or that $30,000 or $40,000 a month, we can work together to do that. So basically what happens when you join the program, you submit an intake form. And based on this form, I'm going to build you out a personalized action plan. So you're going to know exactly what to work on each week, how to maintain momentum in your business, and how you can see progress. So it's a very, very specific plan that is personalized for you. The other thing you get in this program is we do monthly live workshops. So deep dive action workshops. I will pick the workshop topic based on the members, where they're struggling and where I feel like they need the most help, and what they're working on in their growth flywheel. There's also on-demand training and a private podcast for members to ask questions. So any questions that you have, you just go to a form, fill it out. I will answer that question in the private podcast. The other thing you get is weekly office hours. So if you're not familiar with Voxer, it's basically a messaging app. You can speak into it or you can type into it. So I do office hours every single Wednesday from 9 to 5. You have a question, submit it in. But what I think is also very valuable in this particular program are the bi-monthly progress reviews. We have a Google Doc. We put together your specific growth flywheel, what you're going to be working on, and I will check in on you every other week. You'll update it, say, this is what I've been working on, or these are the challenges I have. What do you recommend? And then I'll put my response in there. You select your growth project. I put together your custom action plan. You get all the support to make it happen. And then when you finish that particular growth flywheel, we celebrate it. You get your success story in my community. So my Creators MBA community. I give you a special bonus, like a VIP resource bonus, because you finished your growth flywheel. And then I will recommend your next steps and we'll work together on your next growth flywheel project. I have a fast action bonus. So if this is something that you are interested in, you're like, Destiny, I know you can help me. Here's what I want to accomplish. Here's what I want to do. If you sign up by Friday, I'm going to white glove your offer. So let's say that one of your goals is to launch a course, a program, a membership, whatever, launch. I'm going to basically help you design it or design it for you, if you would. I'm going to white glove it. I'm going to give you a video review of your offer idea with my exact tips on how to strengthen it. So what's all included in your offer, any bonuses, how you're structuring your offer. I'll walk you through all of that. I'm going to give you a custom leads list tailored to you, basically saying these are the people who would be interested in this offer as we've designed it. And then I'm going to give my personal feedback on your offer messaging. So the wording, the messaging, positioning, how you're going to position it in the market. I have some other bonuses. As you know, I'm completely passionate about weekly newsletters. I think it's a very, very important part of your growth flywheel. So one of the bonuses that I'm giving to everybody who signs up, no matter when you sign up, is an expert critique. So I love doing these. I do them all the time in my newsletter Profit Club. So I will give you an expert critique on your weekly newsletter and give you some tips on how to improve it. You also get 1 month access to my newsletter Profit Club. So if that is part of your growth flywheel and that is something that you're interested in, You can check out the newsletter Profit Club and get 1 month free access there. I'm also giving you access to all of my course curriculum. So my course in a box, where I help you design and launch your tripwire type offer in less than a week. The funnel cure, where I'll walk you through how to set up that tripwire funnel that we've talked about today, with the tripwire, with the order bump, with the upsells. That's included in here. And then I also have my evergreen funnel course. That's more for higher price digital products, like at $1,000 type program. So I'll walk you through how to set up an evergreen funnel, like a webinar funnel for that. And that's what's included there. Also, if you sign up as a yearly member, you get some extra perks here. So you get a one-on-one coaching session with me and 4 custom reviews of your marketing. So basically, once per quarter, you can send this. This could be a sales page that you want me to review. It could be an email sequence that you want me to review, funnel setups, landing pages, offer descriptions, really anything that's marketing related. I have a $99 per month package where you get everything that we've talked about today. And then, of course, the yearly members get what we just talked about, which is the one-on-one coaching session, the quarterly marketing audits. You also get priority access to the workshop hot seats. So there you go. I'm going to sit around. If anybody has any questions, if you want me to look at your growth flywheel, I won't leave. I will stay on until everybody gets all of their questions answered. And I'm just going to check the Q&As and see. Sarah, you can send me whatever you want, quite frankly. I'm happy to look at whatever you send over. For the flywheel, if you want to send me your Canva template link, I can look at what you put together for your growth flywheel. I'll review it and just send you back probably like a short video giving you some feedback on it. I'm going to put my email address in here, but Julie, you should have it. So really, any of the emails that I've sent out for the workshop, just respond back to that email and you can, I'll get it. It'll come directly to me. Nobody else has access to that inbox but me. So any questions that you guys have about the flywheels that you are putting together, about the workshop, or about the offer, about the Digital Product Growth Lab, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And I'm just going to kind of search through any of these and see if I missed anything. So Sharon says the monthly membership comes with all those bonus you listed. Yes, it does. And the fast action bonus, Sharon, is Friday. So I'm going to look at the date so I have it in front of me right now. So I'm making sure I'm doing everything correctly. It's the fast action bonus is Friday, and the deadline to sign up for the program itself is next Friday, which is the 22nd. So Alicia, let me go back to, because I don't think I saw your response because I jumped in there. Okay. So Alicia says, I teach planning and productivity skills. I'm just starting a digital product shop of low-cost digital products. I have a signature course for $297 that I've had for a while, but I don't seem to be able to get to sell it consistently or very much at all. So for $297, I really think it depends on your audience, Alicia. I might consider doing a workshop for a $297. I say a workshop, a training, a webinar type. You might be able to sell it without that, but I would probably test it out, especially if that's in the B2C market. I might do like a webinar type to sell it. So I think that's more of an evergreen type funnel than a tripwire type offer. And again, I don't know, it's hard for me to do it on the call here because I don't know what you've tried and tested, but that's my initial reaction there. I think you're going to have to put something maybe on the front end, especially if it's a B2C type market, for $300. But if you're selling it through your newsletter, you could do some flash sales. That's an option to sell it and test it out. That's something else I would do. I want to make sure I've answered all the questions here. Okay, so you have a workshop funnel. It didn't really help. It's in the B2C market. I did a flash sale for $200 off. I didn't make very many sales. So then I would start looking at the positioning of it, maybe some of the sales copy. I think there's probably some other areas that we could dig into there to figure out what's going on. Sarah says, for someone just starting out, do you recommend selling courses as your first offer or start with a mid-low ticket membership first? So if I was just starting out, what I would do, Sarah, and I'm assuming that, and this may be a bad assumption, if it is, I apologize. I'm assuming that you're just kind of starting out too with your email list and your audience. So what I would do there is I would probably set up like a tripwire type offer. So with your lead magnet, and then have a mini course or some type of low cost digital product as your tripwire offer. And then, have that funnel build out after that with maybe even order bump or upsells, but probably some low cost type offers. Memberships they take a little bit more experience to sell. And quite frankly, kind of trial and error. When I launched the Newsletter Profit Club, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I think this is what the market wants. I think this is what they're asking me for. But I had an audience that was actually asking me questions about what I was doing. So it was a little bit different. And I did test out different things initially. I got it working pretty fast, which is unusual, I think, for a membership. I think they're a little bit harder to sell for somebody who's newer. I'm not saying you can't do it. I just think, especially with a low ticket membership, you're going to need volume there. So you need a fairly large audience to make, profit with a low cost type membership. So Alicia, would that be something the white glove offer could do? Yes, I could absolutely dig into all of that with you and figure out what's going on there. Since it's something you've tried in the past and haven't had success with, I'd want to probably have a conversation with you and kind of dig into what you've tried, what hasn't worked, and that sort of thing. But yes, absolutely. We could do that with that white glove offer. Let me check over here, see if we have any additional questions. So somebody says, my slides are so pretty. Where are the photos from? So the photos in that slide, I have lifetime access to Social Curator. So that's Jasmine Starr's Social Curator. I bought it years ago, maybe 2019, when she had this lifetime access offer. I paid $1,000 or something to get a lifetime access to Social Curator. And I'm so glad I did because I love her images. Sharon says, I think I answered this. The monthly membership comes with all the bonuses you listed. Yes, it does. And the white glove offer bonus ends Friday, and the program enrollment ends next Friday, which is the 22nd. Somebody asked, what goes in at the top in the business goal? So your overall business goal, whatever that is. And for most of you, that's going to be some type of revenue goal. I like to break it down by month because I think that's a little bit more tangible than saying I want to make 200,000 next year. But if you break it down by month, then I think it's easier to dig into how many customers do you need to make that, 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month or whatever that case may be. So somebody asked, is there a discount for newsletter Profit Club members? So in this, there is 1 month free for Newsletter Profit Club because I want to give everybody the opportunity to also, join that membership and focus on their newsletter because I think it's such an important part of this growth flywheel. So that's the discount that I have in there for that. I think I got some. Yes, the white glove offer comes with the monthly membership for $99 a month as long as we register by Friday. Yes, it does. That's correct. I should say. Julie says, I think we're delivering good value with our newsletters. We consistently have a 35 to 40% open rate from our list of 24K. That's good. That's basically what we're seeing in HobbyScool too. So we have around 28 on that list, 40% open rate. It seems people want to read what we have to say, but we are struggling to translate that into engagement and advocacy. Okay. We try asking questions to start conversations with our readers. We've asked for testimonials and have offered incentives, free products, coffee, gift cards, etc., and our response rates are low. What should we be looking at to improve engagement and advocacy? Okay. So I guess my question would be, what is your click-through rate? Like, what are you seeing in terms of clicks on that? The other thing that I think email service provide, the email platforms like Gmail and Yahoo, and they like to see that kind of going back and forth. So they like to see people kind of responding back to your email. So that's something that I would, kind of focus on. I think there's definitely things that you can do to improve that for sure. 1 to 2%. Yeah, I definitely think we can get those up. So what I teach in the Newsletter Profit Club, and I'm actually doing a training next month in December. I think it's on December 12th. I'm doing a training about basically kind of what I teach in the Newsletter Profit Club. And it's that mini magazine kind of design that helps you not only have different ways to promote digital products and other offers and events and affiliates and tools and everything else that you want to monetize your newsletter, because that club is all about monetizing your newsletter, partly growing, but it's also monetizing. And by doing that and how you designing that newsletter, I think it will help when you have that mini magazine type layout. It definitely increases click-through rates in there because we have very high click-through rates in our HobbyScool newsletter. And our list is big too. Like it's big. It's probably 28,000. Sarah says, do you recommend a mini course as a lead magnet or my first offer? Your offer. So the lead magnet, I generally recommend something that's a quick win, something that they can engage with. As an example, I just did a lead magnet. I worked on it this week for a summit presentation that I'm doing in an upcoming summit. And I'm teaching them all about email marketing. These are people who are very, very beginners. They don't have an email list yet. And so one of the things that I did in there, the lead magnet I put together for that was just a 3-part welcome email series. So templates that they could use and customize and put together their welcome email sequence. A course needs to be basically your offer, if you would. So we will have a tripwire offer on the back end of that. That's basically course or membership related. All right. Any other questions before we hang up here? And don't forget that you guys can send me, because you were here live, you can send me your growth flywheels, send them to my email address, and I will give you feedback on them. All right. I think I answered all the questions. If I missed your question, I did not mean to. I just didn't see it. There's a lot of questions coming through. I apologize. I didn't mean to overlook it. You can just send it to me via email and I'll make sure that your questions get answered. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys found this valuable. Let me know if you like these type of workshops. I try to make them actionable because I want you to walk away with something that you can actually use in your business. I do have the newsletter workshop. I will be promoting that here probably in the next couple of weeks. So you'll see that registration come up. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks so much. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.